Repeat that again?
Slight condiments.
Nah. Nah. It's all about raw.
All about raw?
All about base.
Well, if we're going in raw, you should probably find out what your fecundity is.
Oh.
I know what that word means.
I don't think you do in this context, otherwise
I
you're some serious nerd shit.
100% know what fecundity means.
You're on some serious nerdle shit, my friend.
Fecundity is basically your true biological potential to have offspring. Per Webster, or the Oxford Dictionary.
Look that up.
What? What are we looking up?
Fecundity.
I already got it.
Fecundity.
Fecundity definition: the ability to produce an abundance of offspring or new growth, fertility. Or the ability to produce many new ideas. See, now the difference between fecundity and fertility...
I think it's fecund.
F-E-C-U-N-D-I-T-Y.
The ability to produce an abundance of offspring or new generation.
New growth.
Or new growth, fertility.
Now, here, fecundity versus fertility. Fertility is the number of children born to a woman, while fecundity is her physiological potential to bear children. Fertility is often used as a measure of fitness, and fecundity is related to reproductive value. So, they're the same thing, whereas fertility is like fertility, where fecundity is the, per my calculations, your womb can.
Oh, so it's, if she got the hips fertile, but...
No. I think it's the other way around.
It's the other way around. Like, it's
fecundity is the hips. Fertility is literally how many children have you actually had.
Oh.
Yeah, fecundity is like...
That's why, like, if like a woman's had a kid, they're like, oh yeah, she's fertile because like she's already proved
But fecundity is her physiological ability to produce offspring. It could also be like if you have a very I believe the short, I forget what abbreviation of the word, I think is fecund or fecund. Like if you
the root is fecund.
If you have a very fecund mind, you are very apt to make new ideas. So inventors normally tend to have very fecund or fecunded minds. But yeah, no, like it's basically if you took a woman and broke her down to how many children she can physically have, that would be her fecundity.
Like that Russian who had 96 children?
Yes, she has very great fecundity. However, the amount of children that you actually have is how fertile you are, because you can have 3,000 children, but can your body, like, do you have a very fertile body that is able to actually produce that many kids?
The audacity of this cat.
Go shorten her fecundity.
I stand shit out all of them, and I'm proud of myself.
I also feel like it's a very fun word, fecundity.
Yes. I thought it had more to do with rot and decay.
Now, it can be put into any bias, because like into any situation, because like Nurgle,
technically Nurgle is about fecundity because he's about new birth out of decay.
And not just that, and when it comes to like spreading new plagues and new pestilences, like that's why like he has very fecund offspring, like Rotbringer, the big spellcasty red unclean one.
Yeah.
Rotigus. I think he has great fecundity because he makes lots of new plagues and new diseases.
Growth,
and there's like the fungus and the growth of Nurgle.
Which is funny because at its most root level, it's under pretty serious debate whether viruses are actually dead or alive. It's debatable as to whether or not viruses count as actual
if they're
life.
alive, or if it's just like genetic code that can fuck up other genetic code.
Yeah, basically.
Nurgle's a god tier programmer.
He really is, though. Not gonna lie. But no,
Well, on that A+ segment, or transition, would you like to continue to go over Nurgle?
oh no, we're not keeping that in the episode.
Oh no, we are!
Well, pause it real quick then.
Actually, before we go ahead and get around to that, quick little shout out. So we've actually just reached over 100 streams.
Go
So,
us!
Yes.
Go us.
Toast, yes, please. Thank you very much.
Woo.
Cheers all around.
Oh, that's nice.
That's the power of Kentucky straight bourbon, baby.
It has a nice burn to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot Kentucky bourbon needs ice.
Get wrecked.
Oh, we just wanted to say thank y'all so much. You know, we have done basically no advertising, so the fact that we've gotten to 100 after only doing this for a couple months. Well, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but to us it means a lot. And we just wanted to say real quick before we get into this episode, thank y'all so much. Y'all are all fucking awesome people. And we're just really thankful and really grateful to y'all.
Yeah. Thanks a bunch for joining us on this. Gonna be honest, we expected to get like 5 views, 4 of those being like
our close friends or us.
Yeah, us.
So it's actually really cool to see that people are really taking an interest in this,
especially the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. All you Brits out there keeping us afloat.
The home of the GW.
Yeah. Like, thank you for that. But also, like, aren't there British people who are better than this? Like, I feel like the Americans are the inferior here.
But like situation. I said, they're not listening to us for our content. We just screech like retards constantly, so it's probably funny.
Fair.
We also have a monopoly on this one.
Hey, a little bit. But just thank you guys so much. Y'all are all awesome. And to the people who have actually messaged our Facebook and whatnot personally, want to give a second.
Matthew.
We just wanted to say thanks again to y'all. We really enjoy talking with y'all and whatnot. We just wanted to give a little shout out. Say we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And I guess let's hop into it.
Well, not only that. Don't be afraid to send us a message on Facebook. It's most likely going to be me who replies, but every once in a while.
Okay, I see them, but I normally just am sleeping when I see them. I'm like, I'm going to let Mitchell this.
That makes no sense that you're... Okay.
They're at 5 o'clock in the morning.
But I always put the email, I put the Twitter, I put the Facebooks. I put all 3 of those. Hell, you can go... I put the Podbean website as well if you want to comment on there. Come have a chat.
And I know our Facebook profile for Lorecast isn't super set up at the moment, but we're not really trying to go super hard on social media and whatnot, but we will hopefully be getting it a little more set up soon. But don't be afraid to comment us, even if it looks like our social media presence is kind of in shambles, because it kind of is.
Yeah. We're typically better on Discord, but we don't
better on Discord.
We don't even have the Discord link. Like, we got the server, but if you
we should put the Discord link up. We should do that.
You know what?
That's the thing we should do.
Or force them to send me a message to get the link.
Hey, yo. I like that idea better.
Force human interaction.
By the way, if you're wondering why it seems like her... Oh, God. Ow, that burned.
Mitchell, drink the whiskey. Don't snort it.
This just in, Mitchell even more retarded than he thought he was. Oh my God.
I went to college.
Yeah.
You guys want to see my degree?
Bro, you're the only one out of the 3 of us who actually has a college degree, and you're the one who apparently has the drinking issue.
Dude, I spilled tea on myself at work today.
Oh my God.
And I walked in because we're all having that potluck, and there's like a group of people having like lunch in the different conference room, and I just was like, "Can I have the paper towels, please?" I'm just like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I spilled tea on myself."
Listen. I never said I was a smart person.
But yeah, if you're also wondering why our tones have changed, because there was that period of time for like that 2-second blip of like complete silence, we had to pause and do research about thingies.
Yes. We totally don't do our research 5 minutes before the episode starts.
I mean, I don't. You two suck, but...
Correction. I suck.
I typically do my research at work, but I was actually busy doing work today.
Wow, amazing. Mitchell actually had to do whatever he gets paid to do.
I finally found the census data.
Mitchell has to work at his work?
Swerve.
Never. Alrighty, we want to go and hop into this then, gents?
Yes, yeah. I believe you were going to lead off with Nurgle, and
I think Mitch will start off with Zinch.
Oh, please no.
No.
I don't want to sit here for like the next hour.
Jacob, you lead off with Nurgle.
I'll
lead off with the corn.
I will start, but fuck you, I'm doing corn first.
Wait a minute, should we start off what Chaos Gods are in the first place?
Oh yeah, that's actually
we should probably do that.
Yeah, our Warhammer 40K brain's sitting over here like everybody knows what the Chaos Gods are.
So
we don't have to explain that shit.
This is technically a continuation of the Gods episodes. We had the first parts were like the Mortal Realms gods, the ones like the pantheons of order, destruction, and death and whatnot. These are for the actual gods.
Actually, the Chaos Gods are not really
Well, no one's
Godly.
technically a god, but yeah,
What,
these are the big four themselves.
Well,
Yeah,
5.
5, technically, yes.
Great Horned Rat is considered a greater chaos god because it's now one of the siblings. But what these chaos gods really are, while going through and reading, what the fun fact, guys, I don't have notes.
Oh, Mitchell's fucked.
These chaos gods are really, my best explanation, pure energy of emotion and belief.
Yes, they are technically elemental entities of chaos fueled by the belief of their followers.
Yep.
And emotion. So
Yes.
it's like
And Eldar Souls.
And murder.
Heyo. All right.
But so these, the Chaos Gods are by far the oldest deific beings in the setting. I'm going to say deific beings because, like, Sigmar and Nagash, the Chaos God, they're all deific. These are the oldest by far.
Are the chaos gods older than the Gash?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god.
It's not like, it's different.
The Horned
it's
Rat isn't, but the rest of them.
It's
Okay.
it's different from 40K. Like these are like they've always been there.
Okay.
From my assumption is, and I'll get into this more when it comes to Nurgle, but like they can't just manifest themselves into the world. There has to be certain things that happen to cause it, to cause their like manifestation in reality, wherever that reality be it fantasy or mortal realms. That's how I see it, and I'll get into that a little more when I talk about Nurgle, because how Nurgle manifests in mortal realms is fucking hilarious. But the 4 Chaos Gods are Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, Slaanesh, and now the Great Horned Rat.
Which technically makes 5. But
5. Sorry.
Hey, nice maths.
Yeah. There are the 4.
Fuck off.
Yeah. The big reason for confusion here is that for a long time in both Fantasy and 40K, there were only ever the 4 big ones. But then at the end of Fantasy, going into Age of Sigmar, they introduced the Great Horned Rat, who is now officially one of the big Chaos Gods. He's not one of the big 4, but he is on their plane.
He is the strongest chaos entity, excluding the 4 Chaos Gods themselves.
Yeah.
I'll just give it like 3 years while the Skaven populate.
Philip.
Yeah, jokes about that.
Yeah, we're
coming back to that
we'll
later,
get to that one. So each Chaos God is an aspect of something. They embody a specific set of emotions and ideals. And we'll get into what they embody as we talk about them. I'm going to start this show with Khorne, the oldest and by and large normally the most powerful of the 4 Chaos Gods. Khorne is he's called the Blood God, blood of the Blood God, skull of the Skull Throne, milk of the Cornflakes. Even if you're not a 40K / Age of Sigmar / Fantasy / Games Workshop fan in general, you've probably at one point in time heard it. Blood of the Blood God, skull of the Skull Throne, it's Khorne. Bloodman himself. So Khorne is the god of blood, murder, warfare, rage, slaughter, all that good stuff. That's
not very good stuff, though.
That's all that great stuff.
What about his duality of his other?
That's 40K. Shut up.
No, because Tzeentch has his also duality, and it's also
Yeah, but that's
Sigmar.
whole Tzeentch's thing, though.
So there's no honor.
No,
that's a 40K thing.
Yeah.
Wow, y'all gods suck.
Hey,
A little bit.
At least mine gives me hope.
Yeah. Now I will say.
Oh yeah,
and
sure. Hope that my mutations don't fucking murder
Hope
me.
that my 17th arm doesn't grow cancerous and explode inside of me.
Fun fact: there is a chaos god for mutation, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's called Tzeentch.
no,
Yeah.
it's a different one. I was like,
Who's probably still Tzeentch.
I was like, who are you? Get the hell out of here! What are you, a shard?
But yeah, so Khorne, he embodies blood, rage, warfare, anger, all of that, all those tasty things. And so I'm gonna get into him a little bit. So Khorne has some other titles. He's known as Blood God, Lord of Skulls, the Skull King, the Blood Wolf. There's 15, 16, 17,000 different names. Those are the ones that I picked that I think are the coolest. But so like I said, he is the oldest of the Chaos Gods, and normally is considered the strongest. The Chaos God's power waxes and wanes depending on things going on in the mortal realm. So, Each chaos god also has like pieces of themselves that are called that are the demons of Age of Sigmar. They're basically like living embodiments of the god they serve. And the demons that serve Khorne would be the greater demons are called bloodthirsters. They're like the major demons of Khorne. They're his generals of his armies. Gigantic cloven-hooved winged monstrosities.
Imagine a minotaur but with wings.
Yeah,
but it's also 20 stories tall
and much angrier. They're the generals of Khorne's armies. They are the closest thing to the blood god besides the blood god himself. Then you have the mini versions of them called bloodletters, which are basically just wingless mini versions of bloodthirsters. And the same thing goes for bloodletters as bloodthirsters are for Khorne. They're just smaller versions of bloodthirsters, and they're the foot soldiers of Khorne's armies. After that, you have the mounts that they ride on, which are called juggernauts, which are like mechanical beasts made of warp energy and whatnot. And we'll kind of get into like how
that works.
What that works, demon engines and how that shit. Technically, demon engines to a certain extent. More of a 40k thing. More of a 40k thing. Kind of the same thing. I mean, soul grinders are in AOS. But yeah, so juggernauts are these metal hounds that the demons and some human chaos champions will ride into battle. You have the flesh hounds of Khorne, which are actual like reptilian-esque hounds that do Khorne's fucking words are escaping me. His will. Yes, they're his hunting dogs essentially. They go out, and if someone in particular has pissed off the blood god himself, they go off and they murder that person for him.
So consistently.
Yes, very consistently. And then you have, am I missing a troop? Juggernauts, Fleshhounds, Bloodletters, Bloodthirsters.
Maybe, but I mean, realistically,
we'll
cover all those more when we get into Khorne
ones.
Specifically.
Yeah,
so
and so these are all the demons that serve Khorne. They are made to a certain extent in his image. They're like little pieces of himself, basically. Where Khorne's little pocket dimension inside the realm of chaos, and we'll touch on what the realm of chaos is in a bit. The little piece of the realm of chaos where Khorne's power base is called the Brass Citadel. It's a place of blood, fire, death, all that good shit, and it's basically what it sounds like, a gigantic brass citadel where Khorne sits atop a mighty pile or mound of skulls. On his brass throne, and that is where he directs his minions to do his bidding and whatnot. So, during the Age of Myth, and we've gone over the Age of Myth before, the Chaos Gods weren't very active. They didn't really start doing anything significant until the Age of Chaos. However, there is a little fun little tidbit of lore for Khorne that is in the ancient times, and I'm going to assume when it says ancient times for the Chaos Gods, we're talking like back before the mortal realms were created, back during the old world was still alive, back during then. So this is a long-ass time ago. But Khorne had siblings, and I'm not talking about Tzeentch and Nurgle and Slaanesh. He had 7 other brothers, I believe, before the other big 3 came into being, because like I said, Khorne is the oldest. And in order to cement his position at the top on the brass throne itself, to cement himself as the blood god, he actually got into a fight. All the siblings fought for that position, and Khorne murdered all of them. And to this day, apparently, wears their skulls on his armor. So that's just a fun. That has nothing to do with AOS. That's just a fun little tidbit of Khorne lore because that makes me chuckle. Where's his? Yeah. So, like I was saying, the Chaos Gods didn't do a whole lot during the Age of Myth. During the Age of... Can I help you, Mitchell?
Just caressing your foot.
Caressing my foot? Your sock...
Thwarting my plans?
Your sock feels kind of wet.
That's my feet.
Anyway, stop! During the Age of Chaos, Khorne basically went aggressively ham on everything. Age of Chaos was when Chaos reared its ugly head in the mortal realms and basically crumped everyone aggressively. Khorne was by far the strongest Chaos God during Age of Chaos. His armies were everywhere. He propagated his wars everywhere. Blood and death flowed all throughout all the realms. Like he was everywhere, murdering everything all the time. But his main focus in the land that he desperately craved most out of all the other mortal realms was Akshi, the realm of fire, where the Fire Slayers make their home. Just by how the land is, it's a land full of emotion and that's headed by aggressiveness. It's a very tumultuous, realm filled with people who love to fight, fueled by emotion, fueled by rage. It's Khorne's shtick. Also kind of
more than that shtick. In episode 3.
Heyo. See in the index, episode 3. But that was where he focused a lot of his attention. And that's also where the greatest war band to Khorne rose, which was the Gore Tide. And it was led by Korgus Kul. Yes, Korgus Kul. The Gore Tide was just a fucking massive war band of Chaos followers dedicated to Khorne. And they basically slaughtered a whole fucking realm by themselves. And this realm by far was Khorne's playground. This is where he focused all of his attention. And that was where the bloodiest and the most gruesome of his wars were propagated. And during Age of Sigmar, and the reason why I'm skipping ahead so far is that's basically what happened during the entirety of the Age of Chaos. Is Khorne murdered everyone. There was one part during the Age of Chaos where basically all the enemies were beaten, and Khorne decided to start murdering his allies, both in the Realm of Chaos and in the Mortal Realms, and it was called the Blood Wars. But that's just kind of what Khorne does. So if he can't kill his enemies, he'll kill his friends. And then
he did kill his brothers.
Yeah. During the Age of Sigmar, storm cast tunnels came down from the heavens, aggressively started crumping all the Chaos Gods. The only thing that I read up about Khorne that's happened then is he screamed very loudly. Apparently he bellowed a cry of pure anger that echoed through all of reality, and
there's a reason for that, and we'll be getting to that shortly.
He did Khorne things. And it's kind of short because we're not diving too in deep to it yet, but that's kind of it. That's what Khorne embodies. That's his whole shtick. But now I'm going to talk briefly about the religion of Khorne, technically. Oh, I forgot. So sorry. Real quick. During the Age of Chaos, Khorne punched an island out of the sky.
A what?
He punched an island out of the sky.
He was manifested.
No. So, God, I think this was an Akshi too. I'm probably wrong. That's where my brain is going to.
Did he just stick his hand?
There was a floating island full of sorcerers and shit, and they used this like magic machine thing called the Prismaticon, and basically vaporized a whole army dedicated to Khorne. And they're kind of smug about it. They're like, oh yeah, with our little laser beam machine that can vaporize things, and we're all mages, and we're floating on our island, we're gonna be safe. All these Chaos Gods can suck a dick. And Khorne took that personally and basically manifested a gigantic red fist in the sky and punched the island onto the ground. There's a desert or a huge desert or ruins. I forget what the desert or a ruin, and I forget the name of it. And we can talk about that later. But it's literally caused. It was created by Khorne punching an island out of the sky.
That's amazing.
It's fucking hilarious.
I love that.
Yeah.
I just think that's neat.
I just think it's neat. Can you imagine being like, yeah, we just kicked these guys' ass, we're doing pretty good. Hey, what's that again? Oh, no. Yeet. Just...
It's the Age of Ultron all over again.
If that is not the perfect time to have the KO meme, I don't know what is. Like One Punch Man theme, literally any meme, including Little Mac, anything. That is the perfect just fucking yata moment, just punching a fucking island out of the sky. Oh, I love it. Anywho, back on track. The religion of Khorne. Kinda. So, the cool thing about Khorne is, like I said, he's the blood god. He's the lord of slaughter, of death, of warfare, of martial challenge. Corn does not care from where the blood flows. You can be a follower of Corn and kill a fellow follower of Corn, and it still fuels the blood god. Any blade, any drop of blood sown by a blade, any act that's led by rage or anger, any martial challenge between warriors, anytime a officer of justice kills a criminal, anytime a scorned lover kills someone out of rage,
her adulterous spouse or what
anything that happens that involves blood, murder, rage, slaughter, fuels Corn. Anything. And
even nosebleeds?
Technically wasn't shed in anger, so like.
I mean, if it was a nosebleed caused by a fist into it, then I would assume so. Yes.
Well, yeah, in that case, yes. Or perhaps even a nosebleed caused by like an aneurysm from somebody losing their mind because of having to deal with the absolute stupidity of his fellow employees. Yes.
So not just dry air.
No, sorry.
Philip.
That's more of a Zinch thing, I think.
Philip hates his job. If you can't tell.
Actually, I don't mind my job. I just hate some of the people I have to work with.
Okay, there you go. So that's kind of the religion of Corn. There's something called, I think it's like the Path of Bones or something along those lines, where it's like chaos warriors dedicated to Corn will commit atrocities and trying to ascend to be lords of Corn, or even demon princes, which are humans that could turn into demons because the gods like them for doing things. That is technically like the religion of Corn. It is going on that path of war crimes, basically, to ascend to a higher plane of murder, essentially.
Oh, that's a bad joke. I'm not going to say that joke.
Was it a Geneva Convention joke?
It was a Geneva Convention joke.
And so, cool thing, there actually is a religious text and or Bible of Corn. They said it's not written, it's scratched. And one thing that I've read, and I didn't look super, super hard, but I did try to find it briefly. Something I want to go into next time we talk about Corn is apparently one of the holier or holiest like text of like the Bible of Corn, which has 888 verses, because Corn's holy number is 8. It's called the Feast of Sleipnir, or Sleipnir. I don't think it's Sleipnir. I think it's like Sleipnir is how it's pronounced. And I could not find what that is anywhere.
This man did way more research than I ever did.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty ashamed of
This
myself.
is such a drop in the bucket, too. Like, I tried to paraphrase so many things that I read, and I was like, good fucking Christ, there's so many things.
How
dude,
did you
I
find
looked up-
so much? Like,
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I looked up Slanesh, and I was like, yes, Slanesh, BDSM daddy. Gotcha. Cool. Moving on to the Horned Rat.
Zinch was like 3 paragraphs. If you look on Zinch on the fandom, the wiki, it's 2 sentences.
I am very proficient with Google search.
I suppose.
Did you... Yeah. I got an eye twitch. Continue!
In order not to run on super, super long, because we have 4 other deities to cover, that is more or less everything you need to know about Corn. Oh, sorry. Last thing. I promise. Last thing. Y'all good over there?
Throwing hand signs,
Throwing
dog.
hand signs, doing like beatbox, like hyping someone up to beatbox or something. Y'all all over here like. Apparently, Corn can bite his finger and smell his own blood, not like just smell it, and see visions of the future.
Whack.
Which is very Zinchy.
Parappa the Rappa.
By the way, just so y'all are aware.
Parappa the Rappa. They're trying really hard to fuck with me right now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Parappa the Rappa. Yeah. So yeah, no, Corn can apparently see the future, which is very Zinchy, given that Corn hates Zinch. And there are rivalries between the brothers, the Zinch.
The Chaos Gods, yeah.
It's called the Great Game.
Basically, yeah. Corn.
According to Zinch, it's the great game. According to the rest of them, it's called life.
It's all Zinch's fault.
Corn and Nurgle are more or less tight as you can get, and Corn doesn't really give a fuck about Slanesh, and Corn aggressively.
Oh no, Corn hates Slanesh.
Oh no, Corn not giving a fuck about someone is him hating him. That's what Corn hates. But Corn super hates Zinch. That's because Corn thinks if you do magic, you are a gigantic pussy and you deserve to die. Dishonor on your cow.
Which is funny because Zinch may not be as powerful physically, but boy, can you just go Mind Bolt.
Corn over here like, let me just grab my sword, hashtag all slaughter, and rend reality. Boop!
Zeech, this is more like, I'm just going to melt that.
And the last thing I'm talking about before we switch over to, let's do...
Slaanesh.
We'll do Slaanesh. Is kind of like how Nagash has different aspects of himself. So does Korn. Well, you have like.
Well, technically, all the gods have different aspects of themselves.
Well, this is what's funny. So you have Arkar, Axefather, Blood Kraken, Brass Belladonna, Great Brass Bull, Red Hound, Cornara, and basically every single one of these different aspects are one thing. Various primordial blood gods that random small tribes of marauders, the Slave of Darkness, worship as a murder deity. His other aspects are just smaller versions of himself that do the exact same shit that he does, which made me laugh, because Nagash is like, I have 17 different aspects, and all of them do something different for people who die, because I'm sophisticated in my job, and Korn's just like, I have clones that do the exact same thing as me. And that is all.
I mean, to be fair, when your aspect is murder, like...
I mean, you're not wrong.
You do murder.
It just made me chuckle. But yeah. That's it on Korn. I'm going to shut the fuck up now until I have to talk about Nurgle. And we're going to go over to Phil now to talk about BDSM Daddy.
Heyo, my favorite. Alright. Slaanesh. BDSM Daddy.
Oh,
Moving on.
This is easy.
No.
Get fucked. And this is gonna be a clusterfuck.
Not really.
Anytime I talk about Slaanesh, I just feel dirty inside.
Bruh, just embrace it.
Don't even.
Just
no!
Alright,
Make a note there to silence that bit.
and that will be edited out in post.
Maybe. I'm really lazy.
Yeah, you are really lazy. Alright, Slaanesh, also known as the Dark Prince, the God of Excess, the Lord of Pleasure, the Prince of Excess, the Pleasure Lord.
You know, I'm seeing a trend here.
Yeah, we're getting real distinctive with these titles. Also the Despoiler and the Serpent. Probably from the elves.
What I'm getting from this is it's a male.
Yes and no. So
I think in AOS they're all considered brothers, but in 40Ks when Slaanesh is a
well, no, okay. Time out.
Okay,
Time out.
Sorry.
Time out. So Slaanesh, even though in basically all of the literature I can find and all the references to Slaanesh in 40K in Age of Sigmar, Slaanesh is always referred to as male. So like him, Lord, Prince, things like that. Slaanesh is also, in actual lore, the most unspecific entity when it comes to descriptions. So the most common descriptions of Slaanesh are actually as a hermaphrodite.
Yeah, this is completely off topic, but is the female version of Lord just lady?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
I've always found that kind of weird, but I don't know why. Lordess.
That's getting more into duchesses.
Yeah,
duchesses.
I know, but I just feel like, what's this, lady?
And then there's the equivalent of an earl, which I forget what that one is, but it's not earless.
You think
it's
it
like,
would be though?
Yeah, it's something else.
I'm about to Google something that it
Here for our AOS podcast, we're gonna be talking about the different versions, male and female, for early monarchy titles.
Technically, it's British nobility.
British nobility. There we go.
Anyway, because okay, back off topic again, real quick.
Oh God, yes.
Early British nobility, like back when the Saxons invaded, was basically like you were the baron or you were the king, and that was it. Like all that extra little like earl
that came later,
like marquis, viscount, shit like that. That all came later, and that was all political.
Okay, this is all I gotta say about Slaanesh. Femboy Hooters.
God damn it!
I mean, you're not wrong.
Philip, listen.
Mm-hmm.
Bussy.
Bruh. Why would you bring that up? Bruh, you know that's my weakness.
Joke's on you, I'm into it.
Could you
all right.
Give him so much shit for this, please. All of you.
Stop it. Get some help. All right. Whew. After that wonderful tangent, back on topic. Although surprisingly appropriate considering we're still talking about Slanesh.
Yeah, no, very much.
All right.
T.O. Femboy.
Slanesh is, as you might have guessed by now, the ruler over excess and pleasure. So, Slanesh not only governs excess in the physical sense, like gorging oneself, going on a 30-day bender of drugs, sex, and hookers, but it also
fucking cocaine. Real quick before we continue, is Slanesh also has his perfection stint like he does in 40K, or is that just 40K?
Technically, that falls under excess.
Well, I know in 40K it's
obsession.
I know in 40K it's a little more focused on, I guess.
Yeah, it's not necessarily as focused on, but it's still definitely in the wheelhouse.
Cool, gotcha.
But yeah, so in Age of Sigmar, Slanesh is Prince of Pleasure, and governs over the pleasures of the flesh, the pleasures of the mind, the pleasures of emotions and whatnot, but also governs over excess. So not just, I had a wonderful meal. It's taken to the excess, where it's not only did I have this wonderful meal, I had this wonderful meal 10 times over, all in the span of an hour, and my stomach is literally ripping itself apart because I've stuffed too much food into it.
And now I'm trying to fuck said meal.
Yeah, actually, you're not wrong.
All I gotta say, Food Wars.
Oh God,
Jesus.
No, it's like that scene from it's one of those obscure Family Guy references to a famous actor who they're like, yeah, it's like him at a family meal, and it's the guy sitting down and he's literally eating the entire Thanksgiving meal by himself.
And they're like, Father, can I have? He's like, no. And
the entire rest of the family is skin and bones, and they're sitting there like, Father, may we have some? You can get some when I'm finished. But Father, there's never any left over. And then little Timmy tries to steal a bite and then stabs him with a fork.
Isn't that for Rush Limbaugh?
It might be. I don't know. It was an actor. I forget which one though. Anyway, point being, so just as we were talking earlier though, perfection is also under his or hers. It's wheelhouse of.
Just say he.
Yeah. No.
It's a brother.
It's under that wheelhouse because
I believe
excess,
his pronouns are they, them.
Excess also leads to obsession, and obsession can be a form of perfection because you obsess over something until it's perfect, when the true rabbit hole of that is that nothing can ever be truly perfect.
So it's kind of like I want to be the best swordsman, so I practice the sword 23 hours a day, every single day. I take 1 hour to sleep, eat, shit, that's it, and I practice the sword my entire life until I'm so good at it that once I am the best, I continue to try to be better than the best, and I can just do it my whole entire life.
No, actually, that's more along the lines of I do this 25 hours a day, and I just never stop.
The power of cocaine.
That's the power of drugs.
And literally, my obsession with this fuels Slanesh so much that Slanesh goes, "Oh, so you enjoy doing this? Cool. You will never stop doing this. You are now cursed for all of eternity to continue doing this because it pleases me to do so until I feel otherwise. So if I ever deign to remember that you're just stuck doing this for the rest of eternity, maybe I'll let you go if it bores me.
But probably not.
But probably not.
Get fucked.
Exactly. So you will literally keep doing that until you quite literally drop dead.
And then your soul will get known by Slanesh, and you'll do it for eternity in the afterlife. # Realm of Chaos.
But damn, would you be a good swordsman?
Thinking of you, Lucius the Eternal, 40K reference.
Yeah. Regardless. So, that's kind of Slanesh's shtick. Slanesh, again, one of these old primordial beings, has existed since the old world. The important thing to note that, and this is 110% necessary to understand Slanesh going into Age of Sigmar, when the Skaven blew up the old world, all the elves died, with the exception of Tyrion, Teclis, Marathi, and who's the other one I'm forgetting?
# Malekith.
Malekith.
My boy! Now,
There we
hold on.
go.
I thought when the Skaven blew up the world, it was just Lustria and Nagaron.
The entire world was fucked.
Well, no, not. I don't think they blew up the entire world because there was all that clusterfuck going on in Midland with the Empire.
I know nothing of fantasy lore. As far as I'm concerned, the world got nuked. It went into a fucking dark age. I don't know much about it.
This is just another part where the lore and time it's fucking wonky as shit. Real, very quick subtext. Divergent into old world lore. Skaven were like, cool, moon rocks, and they just made moon rocks hit the earth in big ass meteors, and they fucking blew up the world and made the oceans rise.
But
How that is said over in the other side of the old world, back where, like the Empire and Bretonia and all that shit, the dwarves were all getting fucked by the rest of Chaos over in Midland, which is a piece of the Empire. It just kind of said, like, Teclis was there, and they were doing things, and they were trying to, like, channel magic to stop Chaos, and then they failed, and then everything just kind of got vaporized.
Yeah.
Which would not be the world blowing up from Skaven Moonrocks. It would be Chaos annihilating everything.
Chaos actually won.
But then sometimes it's like, oh yeah, Chaos won because Skaven blew up the world, but then also they won because Chaos blew up the world.
The point being,
it's like, what the
though,
fuck?
Here.
The point being, though...
I'm going to go on a slight tangent. Chaos won because of Skaven blowing up Moon, because that made Lizardmen go in the sky. When Lizardmen went in the sky, they couldn't stop Chaos stuff happening from over there, which, in hand, psychic stuff.
Why are we here?
Vaporized.
Just to suffer?
Why am I here just to suffer through your two's tangents? Alright.
So anyway,
though. I'm gonna smack you.
Rap of the wrap-up.
Okay. Point being, everyone fucking dies. And Slaanesh feeds on elf soul.
all of them.
All of them, with the
else?
exception of 4.
And
The 4 being the gods.
She ate the Wood Elf souls too, right?
I'm assuming.
Actually,
they
no,
are an elf.
Morathi was eaten by...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She
She was.
got out. She just dug her way out.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that. This Morathi was like, I'm gonna be disgusting.
Anyway,
And so, Slaanesh puked her up.
point being, Slaanesh ate basically everyone. Or all of the elves. And Slaanesh got super fat and happy and was like, I'm gonna go take a nap now. So that's
nap
literally
that-
what happened.
Can you say it was the perfect nap?
It was the perfect food coma. So Slaanesh fucks off into her own realm in chaos and basically just takes, like, basically goes to sleep to digest her food. And then at one point Morathi escapes, and then Slaanesh, during the Age of Myth, basically starts doing all of her subtle influencing again, trying to, grow her power, things like that. But she's not exactly all too worried about it because she's still trying to digest all these souls.
She's not super calm.
Yeah, exactly. And then, actually, due to Tzeentch's manipulations, the elves come up with their plan to go ahead and trap her and basically wring her dry of the elven souls. And that's what ends up happening.
I can just see, Malekith on one end and Tyrion on the other, grabbing her, just wringing her like a rag, like, give me back my souls, bitch. And just whipping her out.
So, ultimately what ends up happening, though, is that the elven gods imprison Slaanesh in chains, and then they slowly pull out the souls of all of the elves. One important thing to note is the excruciating amounts of pain that were inflicted upon Slaanesh and the absolute void that was left behind from each one of these souls being forcibly ripped from her stomach, so to speak.
Air quotes, air quotes.
Air quotes, air quotes. Basically caused her to go comatose again. So that's why, all the way up until basically the Necroquakes, she's not active. Like, up until the Age of Sigmar, Slaanesh basically just sits in her prison chamber, like, alternating between intense pain and orgasmic pleasure. Because Slaanesh, at this point, almost can't distinguish between the two.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's literally what happens. Is basically Slaanesh is forced to suffer, basically having her intestines ripped out.
Suffer, air quotes, air quotes.
Yeah, is basically forced to suffer having
enjoyed
her
it.
intestines ripped out over and over and over again for every single one of these souls. And then at the completion of each removal, like, she then achieves extreme pleasure over it as well. And that cycle just continues over and over and over again until finally she starts to wake up and, like, regain consciousness and then goes, oh, I've been imprisoned. Interesting. Oh, wait a second, I can't get out. This is not good. So she then is able to send off a tiny shard.
You keep saying she, it's he.
It's both.
Sklee.
In AOS, it is described as a he.
Sklee.
Well, like I was saying earlier, technically Slaanesh can change its appearance.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of that. I'm just
Just
saying.
like Femboys.
Anytime Slaanesh is mentioned in AOS, it's always a he.
It is always a he. I'm still going to stand by the fact that I'm saying she, as it's close enough.
All right.
There is a he in she.
Exactly. All right.
There's never a she in he.
Actually, there is when Slaanesh is involved.
But
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Have you
Docking.
heard of big toes?
Oh god, no, stop. Bro.
Imagine Slaanesh looking some poor elven soul in the eyes. Ever heard of pegging? What?
Alright, kids, if you're under the age of 18 and
Now
you listen to
is
this
when you
podcast,
leave.
this is your warning to not Google anything. Unless you want to be scarred for life.
We at Lorecast Eternals are not responsible for any acts done by children looking up the meanings of our words.
We are
Fecundity?
not. We are not.
Do as we do, not as we say.
No, do as we say, not as we
Oh
do.
fuck, that's even worse!
Jesus
But we're
Christ.
telling them not to look it up, so why would they want...
Do as we say, not as we do.
Oh yeah, I'm just stupid.
Yes.
Fecundity.
All right, pretty boy. Just shut your mouth and sit there and look good. Damn, you look good.
Stop touching me!
All right. God damn it.
Quit it!
Back on topic.
Anyhow,
Back on topic.
dumb shit aside.
Dumb shit aside. So, sends out a small little portion of her soul to go figure out what the fuck is going on, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when she truly starts making her reappearance again, is basically in the age of Sigmar.
She flashes her thighs.
Yeah, so she starts going around and, like, enticing mortals. So, using this tiny little shard of her soul...
L'Oreal think, though?
That's a good question.
That is a very good question. So, she sends out this tiny little shard of herself to go connect with her greater demons, her keepers of secrets, and they start going around and tempting people to go ahead and gain more power as Slaanesh. And so you see more cults of Slaanesh start to arise and things like that. And through this process, she uncovers how to start breaking herself free from the prisons of the Eldari. Literally what happens is basically her greater demons go to the mages
Are they called
that
Eldarian?
are elves.
I think they're just called elves.
Yeah, elves, Eldari.
Elves.
Sorry, I've had a couple drinks now.
You had one.
I've had two
Oh.
I'm just stupid.
in a very short time period. All right, moving back on. So they uncover through the mages of the elves that the name of the first chain is like the chain of hate or something of that nature. And once the elves finally figure out that Slaanesh is like trying to tempt them into releasing their secrets, all of the elves are like, oh no, we can't do this, so now we need to focus doubly hard on like how to make sure Slaanesh never gets out. So they start obsessing over it. Do you see why that's an issue?
I see where this is going, and I am disappointed greatly.
These are gods obsessing.
No, these are like the mortals who are remaining to tend to the chains.
I can see like Teclis looking at the elves like my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, so Slaanesh starts working on plans to start releasing the chains. The first one is the chain of eternal hatred, or something like that. And basically, the only one who can break it is the one who hates Slaanesh the most. And the elven gods, so Teclis and Mortarion and them, they were like, oh,
Mortarion?
Yeah, what? No, God damn it. Teclis...
Malarian,
thank you. All of that bunch.
Tyrion, Marathi.
Thank you.
L'Oreal.
They all assumed, like, oh yeah, it's totally one of us. It is not one of them. You know who it is?
Nobody's better at hating me than me.
No.
Damn it.
Fuck. I mean, Alariel's an elf, isn't she?
No.
Is it?
It's Korn.
Yeah.
Korn has hated Slaanesh for literal millennia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does Khorne hate Slaanesh more than Tzeentch, though?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, Korn is the
Wow.
one who hates Slaanesh the most.
Why?
So you know what she does? She
That's when she pisses off. She sends someone to kill Karnak, and Korn's like,
No. She doesn't send one to send Karnak. She sends in the Infernal and Rapturous to go steal one of his sacred weapons. And she steals it, and then Korn goes, no, and sends Karanak after her. And then Karanak's like, I'm gonna kill you. And then the Infernal Rapturous is like, no, you're not. And then kills Karanak.
And then Korn's like,
no! And
Was it
screams.
Was it Karanak or was it Karnak? It was his hound, right?
Yeah, I think it's technically written Karanak.
Yeah, okay, no, but it's the same premise.
But
She
yeah.
kills Korn's favorite
She kills
doggo.
his favorite. Yeah, she kills his favorite pupper, and Korn screams so loudly that all of the mortal realms hear it, and like everyone wakes in sweats because they're like, "What the fuck was that?"
Why am I overcome by bloodlust all of a
just
sudden?
saying.
Exactly.
John Wick.
Korn loads the Glock with malicious intent.
But yeah, so $7 million, 7 bullets. Anyway, he screams so loudly that it shatters the chain. And then the second chain is... I know this.
I gotta know, real quick, what makes Korn hate Slaanesh more than Tzeentch, though?
Because Slaanesh steps on his territory. Slaanesh is all about perfection. Including perfection in battle.
I still feel like Tzeentch would be the way he but I understand it. I get it.
Tzeentch, the two that go head to head with Tzeentch, or like the two that their rivalry is that Tzeentch and Nurgle.
Yeah.
I guess I just have more of a 40k Santa Monica than 40k.
Yeah.
Korn hates Tzeentch the most.
Yeah. But no, so Slaanesh does kind of tread on his toes a little bit, which is why Korn hates her.
Right, no, that's understandable. I might disagree with it, but I understand it greatly.
Excuse me. Yeah. But then
You had so much to read for Slaanesh.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Tzeentch has jack squat. The big old floof.
The heckin' floof.
But yeah. And then I'm going to totally blank on what the second chain was. But it was something. Oh, right. The Chain of Utmost Betrayals. All right. Chain of Utmost Betrayals can only be released by committing the greatest betrayal that you can. So what does Slaanesh do? Basically forces every chaos cult across the 8 realms to rise up in rebellion. She incites rebellion across all of the 8 realms, and the Stormcast Eternals basically show up and go, yes, interesting, denied. And they just start slaughtering people. The Stormcast Eternals, to try and get a hold on this, just start slaughtering people.
The Stormcast betrayal of the people.
Including the innocents. And because the Stormcast Eternals, and this was like across multiple storm hosts, they just start slaughtering like entire villages to try and root out the cults. And that betrayal releases the next shackle on Slaanesh. The next big event that happens, though, is the Necroquake. So when the Necroquake happens...
Rattle me bone.
Spin the wheel!
Spin the wheel! Alright. The next big event that happens, though, is the Necroquake, and that, on a fundamental level, alters the laws of reality. And that alteration of reality puts a hole in the illusions around Slaanesh's chains. Because the whole reason that they had to get the mages that were maintaining the chains to reveal their secrets was because Slaanesh herself cannot actually view the chains. They're shrouded in illusions. The Necroquake shorn through those illusions, and Slaanesh was able to peer into the chains themselves to see exactly how she is bound before the illusions managed to repair themselves. So now she is actively working on ways to free herself from her
So
own
while
prison.
she is not free yet, it seems like there's going to be some lore soon that Slaanesh is probably going to free herself.
Oh yeah, they're heavily building up to the fact that Slaanesh is going to free themselves. I'm expecting a box set.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive... Oh, I thought we already had like a Slaanesh versus Elves box set recently.
We had a Slaanesh versus Marathi box set. Right?
Shadow and Pain.
Yeah. Shadow and Pain, the box that got me into Age of
Look
Sigmar.
like a little bowl. Sorry, I'm holding a cat right now.
I'm also holding a cat.
I'm holding the
Screw both of you.
Would you like to hold a cat?
I'm
No.
holding the floofiest cat.
You put your cat in my arms, I'm going to set it on fire. We here at Stormcast Eternals do not endorse animal cruelty.
We do, however, under certain circumstances, find that hilarious.
Yeah, let's not go there. Anyway, back on topic. But yeah, so that's basically what happens with Slaanesh. Moving on to a little bit more about Slaanesh in general, though. Slaanesh has a bunch of demons. The greater demons are known as Keepers of Secrets. The little demons are called Demonettes. She has some other demons that are called Fiends and...
I thought Fiends were just Slangors.
No,
they're actual demons?
Yeah, they're actual demons. And then there are Slangors.
Okay.
Which aren't demons. They're just chaos beasts aligned with Slaanesh.
Chaos Beastmen?
Yeah. Alright, I think that's going to cover most of it for Slaanesh. Let me think.
This is all I got for Zinch.
Yeah, you've just got a little bit.
It's very small.
But yeah. So yeah, that's more or less Slaanesh in a nutshell. Is Prince of Pleasure, likes pleasure and pain in the extreme. And yeah, her cults tend to fucking eat a lot. Also death, occasionally. Gotta revel in something, right?
So I have probably the most important question of all pertaining to Slaanesh, and this is a question that only the two of you can answer.
Okay.
Does Slaanesh have Schmeat?
Oh, yeah.
110%.
Yeah.
Unless you're not into that, in
That
which case, she definitely has Schmeat. Because you're going to learn to like it.
All I gotta say, that 13-inch schlong.
Schlong. The Schmeatiest. Good. These are the answers. These are the answers that I needed questions. These are the questions I needed answers to. 100%.
For those of you in the metric system, that's going to be well over 30 centimeters.
How do you know this?
2.5. 2.54 technically. 2.54 centimeters in an inch.
Yep.
Multiply 13 by 2.5-ish and you get over 30.
No.
What?
Okay, I have a cat.
Well, we gotta be conscious because about half of our viewer base is from the UK.
That's fair.
Yeah, and then there's like the occasional random Swede and Frenchman.
We got some Canadians now.
Shut it down. We got the Canadians. Shut it down. No, we love Canadians.
No, so now that you have talked about the metric system, you have to reconvert that back into freedom units.
13 inches.
There you go.
Anyway, that's more or less Slaanesh. Basically, still imprisoned, trying to get out, fucking. Just fucking.
Enter stage right. Zinch. He's one of the other chaos gods. He's same as Korn, considered as kind of like the most powerful.
He was the most powerful at one point.
Basically,
He was in the old world. He was the most powerful, but he chose not to win because he was having too much fun.
if there are two chaos gods that switch between being the most powerful, it's Korn or Tzeentch.
Yep. But his power is not of raw strength. It is of the mental kind. It is straight mental power. He can explode a car with his mind. Oh, that's an adorable cat.
I miss him.
But so let's just go start in with his titles because that's what pops up first on Lexicanum as
You
always.
just start reading off the Lexicanum.
Actually, at some point I'm just gonna stop reading off a Lexicanum.
Oh my god, bro.
No, just like I'll just randomly stop. But this is his titles. He is known as the Changer of Ways, the Master of Fortune, the Great Conspirator, Architect of Fate, the Lord of Lies, and the Weaver of Destinies, and the Great Mutator.
You missed one. The Magic Man, of whose funny words we like. Because I like your funny words, Magic Man.
But his main thing is he is really the god of change, the god of magic, the god of knowledge. It's the pursuant for knowledge and all that stuff. Majority of his followers are typically scholars. They're not like chaos brutes.
Murder hobos?
They're not murder hobos, yeah. They're not
fat. They're not 500-pound fat men who are interested in eating themselves to death.
No, they're not.
That's going to be approximately so 500. That's about like 250 kilos ish.
I'm totally not gonna edit that out.
More like 230.
Are we talking about cocaine?
No, we're talking about 500 pounds to kilos.
Oh. I thought we were talking about
Birdman, stop being fueled by cocaine, please.
Oh, no. I'm all fueled by cocaine.
It's the only reason. That's how I get to bed in the morning. Just, it's a beautiful day.
Yes, it
The
is.
funny thing is that you think he's joking, but I know where he keeps the good stuff.
Listen. The Cards Against Humanity card about snorting cocaine off of a clown's dick, that is Mitchell.
I go get my cocaine from the roller rink.
Oh.
No, that's where you go to get the heroin, Mitchell.
Oh, that's where you
Fuck,
go.
no, Zeke, Jesus.
Okay.
Well, I mean, mind-altering drugs, that sounds pretty zinchy to me.
Anyway, scholars. He loves scholars. But
PVC?
PCP?
PVC pipe?
PVC? Are you talking about the drug?
No, I'm talking about the pipe.
What the fuck does PVC have to do with anything?
Zinc. But
Tune in next time to watch Circe have a fucking stroke.
But his majority of his followers are definitely scholars. They're not deaf. They're not like the brutes of the corn. They're not like the people who don't know how to take a shower of Nurgle. They don't.
Nah.
They're not the sex field elves of.
Remember, ales don't serve Slanesh. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they hate Slanesh.
Oh wait a minute. There's no dark elves anymore, is there?
There's the Edeneth, but they serve
Themselves.
Kind of, not really. But anyway, moving on.
Well, anyway, you don't have whorehouses.
It's pretty accurate.
Oh my god, this is so fucking bad.
But what the thing is Zinch is actually, it's very easy to get his power.
He just sorceries, right? Just
No,
if you're a sorcerer, you're
it's
down
not
there.
even that. If you want his power, he just goes, here, have $1.
I got you a dollar. That dollar also happens to have space aids, but you don't know about that one yet.
And the thing is like once they get that taste of it, you can't
stop.
You can't stop. It's like heroin. Gosh, I'm talking a lot about drugs here.
Mitchell,
Mitchell, do you need to get drug tested?
Want to check my arms?
Do you need to? Oh no, no. No, I'm basically dating a paramedic. You can do that shit in between your fucking toes, and they will never see it.
I never thought about
Why would I tell him that?
Great, now he knows where to shoot up. Thank you for that.
Wait a minute. How can I afford drugs when I play Warhammer?
That's a fair point.
That is a very valid point. To be fair, you also do make those big dollar bills.
It's Warhammer, drugs, and house. You can have two. You can't have all three.
Exactly. That's why I choose 2.
Drugs. I
Drugs.
choose drugs twice. Because it is, in fact, plastic.
Okay, good God. Just fucking bird dude. Jesus.
Yes, back to Birdman. But the thing is with a lot of his powers, it is easy to get a hold of. It's difficult to get off of. You are stuck. He has now forever changed your destiny, and the thing is, even though you become more powerful, you tend to mutate, and only the most capable are actually able to handle all that power.
Right.
So if you're not able to handle all that,
you're gonna get fucked.
You are becoming a blob on the floor.
Chaos spawn.
With tentacles coming out of you like a Japanese hentai.
Oh god.
Enter Slanesh, stage left.
So that's over here, just like it's the meme of the dude behind the tree, just like, yeah, clapping his hands and shit. I have a question though. Once Philip's done. Is Zinch, is he still like, can he still see the future with perfect clarity like he can at 40K?
They never brought that up. My thing is, when I was reading about Zinch, he is able... Actually, I'm going to say yes, because he controls his destinies. He literally has pretty much... I want you to imagine 7 billion fingers. And he has his pie in 7 billion different pies.
He has his pie in 7 billion different pies.
Yes.
Excellent.
What flavor is it? Pie flavored.
No. See, the real trick here is that, he said 7 billion fingers, and then they mutated into pies.
He puts those pies into 7 billion other pies.
See, it still works.
Well, still applicable.
It makes sense.
But I know that he still has Kario's Fate Weaver, which is still almost the exact same thing as 40k, where he only sees the future and the past, and when Tzeentch really needs to see the clarity of the future, he will go to Kario's Fate Weaver and go get that clarity of the future.
Whack.
Yes.
So what about the demons of Tzeentch? Because he has more demonic. He has more demons than the other ones do, right? He has like a bunch of different types of demons.
Well, let's start with the first three. You have pink horrors, blue horrors, and brimstone horrors, which the blue horrors come from the pink horrors, and the brimstone horrors come from the blue horrors.
Are they just like Russian babushka dolls? Like when they die, they just pop up into smaller versions?
Yep, 100%.
That's amazing.
And when it always splits into two. You got the flamers of Tzeentch, and you got the exalted flamers of Tzeentch, which is just imagine like flames walking around.
And exalted is something like I didn't say like Khorne has exalted bloodletters or exalted bloodthirsters because it's more like a higher position. So like every demon can be exalted depending on like how old or how powerful they are.
Realistically, it's a form of political maneuvering.
Yeah, it's more a position, not really a type of demon.
You have his blue scribes, which go around trying to gather all of his shards, because the reason why Tzeentch is not as powerful as he was in the old world is because he got sharded a bit.
Yeah, what now?
Sharded.
Oh, interesting.
He sharted or he got sharded?
Sharded.
And
there is no poop involved here, unless there is.
Who is powerful enough to shard Tzeentch?
Himself?
Was it just something that happened like during the creation of the mortal planes or something like that?
I have no clue.
So it just Tzeentch did it to himself for lulz. Is what I'm feeling.
Probably.
Here.
Yeah. He has his greater demons, which are the Lords of Change, which
Birdman,
the big birds.
Mm-hmm. That's a big bird.
That's a big bird.
Cue the meme of Big Bird from Sesame, not from Sesame Street, kicking the door down.
No, 1836. What happened in 1836? That's not the year. That's his kill streak.
What? No. The manta rays. What are the fucking flying manta
Screamers.
Screamers.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait for those to come out in Total War.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Bro, that Grand Cathay
that was
trailer.
That was Kario's Fate Weaver.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know it was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we know. I know it was.
Yeah.
That was hot.
Super hot. But going to his mortal side when it comes to his armies, he has Carolite Acolytes, which are typically just like your typical civilian in age of like a city of Sigmar, and they go do, and there's a political mover here and a political mover here. Sometimes they can be the governors, and then one day it's like it is time to crump, and then they just shred their shirt with just being hella muscular and have like a shield and a sword.
Yeah, that sounds. I'm okay with this.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that description.
Yeah. Then they have the Zangors, which are the
beastmen that have converted to a particular god.
Yes.
I believe for Khorne, it's Khorne Gors. For Slaanesh, it's Slan Gors. For Tzeentch, it's Zan Gors. And for Nurgle, it's Nurgors.
Actually, I think they're called something kind of funny, but it doesn't really matter.
They probably are, because Nurgle Gors is kind of hard to pronounce.
Nurgors. I think they're called, like, Pestigors or something.
Pestigors, that's what they are. Pestigors, thank you.
Definitely Pestigors.
Yeah. Don't quote us on this, though, by the way.
Oh, I know, like, Khorne Gors and Slan Gors and Zan Gors are correct. I just wasn't sure about the Nurgle ones.
Yeah. Moving on to the Age of Myth, he did a whole lot of nothing but get Slaanesh trapped.
So what did he do exactly? No one knows.
He somehow manipulated the elves into being like, oh, yeah. Oh, no.
It's like, hey, I kind of know the location.
He's probably just
I think what it was is he, like, kind of whispered hinted to the elves that, like, where Slaanesh might be.
I can just see, like, Marathi just sitting there, like, chilling, or Teclis, or any other elven guy just sitting there chilling. It's a gigantic beak popped out of nowhere. Hello, mama, let me whisper in your ear. That's exactly how I see that happening.
Noise. Moving on.
It really doesn't say a whole lot of the...
By the way, who exactly is Kairos Fate Weaver?
So one day, Tzeentch got a little curious.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this
I was really hoping you were going to say tipsy.
There is this well of just like pure magic that when Tzeentch gets bored, he likes to throw things into. So he
Grabbed
grabbed
chicken and just dunked it.
He got his favorite greatest demon, greater demon, and just went dope.
And out popped Careless Fate Weaver.
And out he popped with 2 different heads. One head being able to see the future, only the future, and one head only able to see the past. He cannot see the present. He cannot see what's currently going on.
I'm assuming how he sees the present is he sees 1 second before and 1 second after, and that's kind of how he puts it together to see the present, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is who Careless Fate Weaver is.
Greatest of the Lords of Change, I'm assuming.
Oh, I heard that neck pop.
Oh, ow.
Maybe don't swing your head around like that.
Ow. I whip my head back and forth. I whip my head. Fuck both of you.
No.
No.
This is not so. That's just BDSM club.
Yeah.
That is very fair.
It is a Wi-Fi, though.
That was the head movement he was making, though. You cannot deny me this. Your silence tells me everything.
I'm not denying.
So Kara's Fate Weaver is his greatest, World of Change, right? Still?
Yes.
Cool.
Pretty much still, yes.
Yeah.
He like his birds. I don't know why it's birds, but he like his birds. I like his birds.
Avian flu.
What the hell, Philip?
Dude,
I don't know. No, wait, that's more of a Nurgle thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And during the Age of Chaos, all that was literally stated and all I know about him in the Age of Chaos is he fought Sky Dwarves and lost.
Well, he atrociously fucked over Shimon.
Why is that not in the goddamn...
This is why you take
It's not in the pages.
It is not written.
No. So the two realms of dwarves, Akshi and Shimon, Tzeentch hella fucked over Shimon. Tzeentch is basically the singular reason why dwarves damn near don't exist. Tzeentch and Khorne are basically the reason why dwarves don't exist.
Poor dwarves.
Ooh, fucking Sigmar's hammer. Sigmar's hammer ended up in Tzeentch's control of Age of Chaos.
Yes.
It landed in one of his strongholds in Shimon.
Shaman?
Come on, yeah, pretty sure.
Oh yes, and there's the whole terror Stormhold. So it's like we're going to go get
Yeah,
that.
like 4 Stormhosts were like,
no, it was like 12.
Yeah, we're like, we're getting this fucking hammer.
We're getting me mallet.
We're getting me dad's mallet. Oh, he's so precious.
And there's not a whole lot in the Age of Sigmar either. I think Tzeentch is going to be the next Chaos God to get lore.
Yeah, probably.
Tzeentch or Slaanesh, depending.
No, Slaanesh already got her lore.
Well,
she already got all of her new models, too.
Oh, okay.
That was last year.
Oh.
Last year was really big for Slaanesh.
Okay.
But before that, it was really big into, in the very beginning, it was Khorne.
And then Nurgle.
Then Nurgle.
Then Slaanesh. And then it's going to be Tzeentch.
Then next is going to be Tzeentch. Once we get the new lore to come out for Tzeentch, then this is the reason why I've been starting this entire time, because there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot about Tzeentch. If you go look on the fandom, it is 2 sentences. And you're just like, it's
I'm
like...
sorry, that's fucking... one of the most powerful beings in existence. 2 periods. This is what I grant you.
Yeah.
Are they at least run-ons? No. They are proper sentences. Short as fuck. Oh, God.
And I can't wait for all the new... Because for the love of God, I want new Pink Core Marta.
Are they still the old models?
Yeah, they look pretty great.
Kind of garbage.
Yeah, they're not great.
I look at the old the Saurus models and I'm like, they look like they have Down syndrome.
You're not wrong.
I know I'm not. So that about wraps it up for Tzeentch then?
I can go into his aspects and alternate names. He's known as the Beast of Many Forms.
Oh, shocking.
Yeah. Ready for this one? Great Eagle.
Oh.
Can I get a... Caw-caw?
Can I get a... That was expected.
But
Please tell me one of his aspects is the Changer of Ways. Or at least one of his titles.
No, these are his aspects. His title is Changer of Ways.
Good. There's something.
By the way, Beast in Many Forms is worshipped by the twist phrase of the dark god that reshapes the realms, devouring magic, flesh and fate, and regurgitating them into forms more pleasing to beastmen.
Huh. All right.
Chaos Spawn.
Yep. Yeah.
Chaos Spawn.
Chaos Spawn.
Chaos Spawn.
Those holes are just a little too moist.
Why would you have to go there? So back to Slanesh.
Mitchell, I'm setting your apartment on fire.
But that's also... What the fuck?
I really wish our neighbors would stop having fucking throwdown contests.
Go back to, I think, our second episode when I talk about the upstairs neighbors having aggressively hate fucking, and that is exactly what just happened.
One pump chumps.
One pump chumps that threatens to put holes in our ceiling.
Yatta.
It's gonna be exactly like corn. Great Eagle, one of the gods of fate, worshipped by the tribes of the slaves of darkness, or slaves to darkness, STDs.
Slaves to darkness would be the mortal followers of the Chaos Gods.
You are correct, sir.
I know things too, guys.
Lord of the Shifting Breeze.
Also, who would have thunk it?
Wow, that's pretty weedy.
You ready for this one?
Go make a Tana.
You ready for this one?
Please.
One of the gods of fate worshipped by the tribes of slaves to darkness.
I have been enlightened. Never would have called that one.
Char? I'm just gonna say char. Oh my gosh.
Char!
Guys, and I'm gonna do Veldecting as well. All in one sentence.
Okay, no. Here, well, I'm gonna use my Zinch powers of precognitance and say a god worshipped by
The clans of the slaves to darkness.
How would you know that? How did you know
I can just read your mind.
Oh my god.
Guys, y'all are so smart.
Oh, what do you know?
We need to pat ourselves on the back for that one.
There we go.
Yep.
We are true Zinch followers.
Exactly.
That's really wraps that man
God.
up. Yeah, that's... If you're wondering, I really tried my best not to take notes this way. That way I don't have a strong.
So in case you're wondering as to what this means, whenever Mitchell takes notes, for some reason he lacks the ability to read them and ends up making sounds akin to this. And then just stares at us blankly for about 30 seconds.
That's pretty accurate.
I'm a very smart man.
On paper.
On paper.
According to your college degree, you are in fact intelligent. Whether or not that actually means there's anything resting between your ears.
According to what's happening in front of my
have to
fucking eyes, not so much.
I don't have to speak to read maps.
Pretty sure you have to speak to go to all those meetings you're supposed to attend. No, that's right. You got hired to show up and not say a word.
I got hired so the county can have more money.
You must love your job.
Like I said, you got hired to show up and make your presence known.
I'm here for roll call. I'm dipping.
That's really about it.
Nice.
So I guess I'm up then?
Yeah,
buddy.
Nurgle.
All right, the fourth...
My internal suffering is finally over.
Man,
you don't have to say another word.
Hold on. I love you, Philip.
Yeah.
But I feel like Mitchell should talk about the Great Horned Rat. I feel like that.
I never even read it.
Mitchell, it's easy.
If you
The
want to
Great
ask
Horned
more
Rat is
questions
Great
about
Horned Rat.
Zinch, I am down to answer more questions about Zinch.
No, Mitchell, it's easy. The Great Horned Rat. You just say rat things.
Yes.
And then you're done. Exactly. You've already got it.
Yes.
Cool. You already know the Great Horned Rat. We're done.
How I'm currently feeling is what the fuck's going on right now. But Nurgle, yes, the fourth and final Chaos God. Warning, kids, this one's gonna get grody. So, Nurgle, otherwise known as, by as many titles, as the Plague God, Lord of Disease, Father of Plagues, Fly Lord, or Lord of all Flies. Ironically, and I'll get to this in a little bit, he's also known as Grandfather. Grandpappy Nurgle.
Oh, God.
Why do you rub your nipples when you say that?
Because that's how you have to do it. It's Grandpappy Nurgle.
Did he take you out back?
Oh. But no, yeah, Grandfather Nurgle is one of his titles, and I'll touch on that subject in a second.
He loves you.
He does, unfortunately. So, Nurgle, along with the other Chaos Gods, didn't do a whole lot in the Age of Myth. He couldn't actually manifest any of his power in the mortal realm because the magic was too pure, and there wasn't anything going on in the Age of Myth that was Nurgle-esque, and as you've picked up from the things I've just said, he likes disease and plagues.
Until the end of it, when he went after those thick thighs?
No, that is not when Nurgle manifested in the mortal realms. Nurgle manifested his power in the mortal realm in the Age of Myth, and it is fucking hilarious. I have to get the name.
I thought I said Age of Myth.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
It wasn't going after Alario. It was in Girin. There was a group of warlocks, the warlocks of the Seven Mulch. They were basically like, we want our harvest to be the biggest and bestest harvest ever, but we can't do that because other group of people have better harvest than we do. So what are we gonna do? Toil, cauldron, bubble, all that good shit. And they made a big old pox to pox their land and fuck their shit up and ruin their plants.
These people are so flawed in their thinking.
And this made Nurgle chuckle. Oh yeah. Because some dumb hick farmers wanted to fuck someone else's plants up, they brought Nurgle into the mortal realms. That is exactly how it happened.
Wow. Bruh, the horned rat had to actually put in work. Like, what is this?
Yeah, Nurgle sent back like, man, how am I gonna... That's fun. Oh, that's basically what happened.
I wish I discovered one of y'all's chaos gods because I had nothing.
Oh, I just find that whole thing really fucking funny. Anywho, so yeah, Nurgle is Plague Father. That's his shtick. Some of the demons that serve Nurgle would be like Plague Bearers, Nurglings, Great Unclean Ones. These are all the names. They're basically, just think of all of them as various piles of pus and decay in various sizes that do disgusting things. Because that's what Nurgle does. He nasty.
Typical 40k player.
They're... Wow. What? Fuck you! We're all 40k players!
No, guys. Yeah, I'm British. How could you tell? I'm sorry, that's a reference to a post I saw on Twitter once. Man, I've just alienated like half of our base.
All of our UK followers. Yeah, piece of shit.
Well, sorry.
God damn it.
No, but seriously though,
like
I'm fucking around. Don't take this serious though.
Their mounts are called plague drones. They're just gigantic fucking bot flies. They have like the beasts of Nurgle. They're just like multi-limbed or limbless slugs of disgustingness and snails and shit. Nurgle lives in a fucking garden of pestilence. Like, dude's grody. The dude's grody. But one thing that Nurgle represents is the cycle of life and death. That's something he sticks with in AOS as well as 40k. And the reason why one of his titles is called Grandfather is because Grandfather Nurgle loves you. He truly loves all of his subjects, all of his demons, all of his mortal followers. And he loves the entire populace of the mortal realms. And all he wants to do is give you his plagues and his pestilence so your body can become stronger with the power of rot. So then you can experience the cycle of life and death. Unending. For eternity. And you will love it.
Seems very consistent.
Yeah, very much so.
No wonder why Zinch and him hate each other so much.
You will love it for eternity.
I forgot to go about the duality of Zinch. Mm-hmm. About how
your compliance is not a factor.
As I continue to interrupt you and look stage right at my computer screen. Optimism, hope, willingness to change.
Yeah, no, Nurgle and Zinch do not like each other.
Yeah, if you read the next, it says, thus making Nurgle the embodiment of despair, its nemesis.
You could say Nurgle is the anathema to Zinch. 40k reference! Hey! So, Nurgle gained access in the mortal realms in the Age of Myth. Didn't do a whole lot. Till the Age of Chaos. And oh fucking boy!
You went after them thighs.
So, two big things happened in Age of Chaos for Nurgle. One thing is, so during the Age of Chaos, Zinch was kind of having a fucking conniption about Khorne, because Khorne was aggressively crumping everything with a pulse, and Zinch was like, man, Khorne's been too strong for too long, this is an issue for me. Nurgle was like, not really. And the reason why is, guys, so what happens after a big battle and all that death and destruction, and then nothing is cleaned up and everything's left out in the sun to do what exactly?
Can I answer that question with another question?
Sure.
what happens when you're a follower of Korn and you kill somebody?
I'm going to answer that question with another question. Have you ever had that experience where, like, some dude dies in the apartment next to you and then you start smelling something about 3 weeks later because apparently nobody realized that man went missing?
I'm going to answer that question. Can I answer that question with another question?
Sure.
Why are we here?
Can I answer?
Apparently just to suffer.
Can I answer your question with an anime quote?
Please.
When people are killed, they die.
No.
What anime is that?
Or is it? No, it's the original Fate Stay Night.
When people are killed, they die. So Nurgle, so Korn would go on these huge murder sprees, and the bodies would sit there and rot and decay. And Nurgle's just like, this is some tasty shit. So Nurgle grew in power slowly because of Korn. So he basically got to sit back and conserve his forces, do fuck all, and get stronger. Which then allowed Nurgle to absolutely fuck the Realm of Life. I forget the name of Realm of Life. It's
Don't look at me, man. I don't remember.
It's like the one realm that escapes me because I don't really give a shit about it. It's not Giran. It's
Not Gear.
It's not.
No, it is Giran.
No, it is Giran.
Yeah, because it's not Gur.
Yeah.
Because Gur is
the other G1. It's Gear.
Gur, so it was Giran. Like the Warlocks were in Giran, then that's my bad. I was thinking of Gur. My bad. So the Warlock shit that I talked about did happen in the Realm of Life. That's my B. But no, yeah, so Nurgle grew in power. He came after the Realm of Life, a.k.a. Alariel, with a fucking vengeance.
Have you seen those thighs?
And I mean, like, 3 armies attacking at the same time with 3 different champions leading them constantly.
Yeah.
Like, it was a never-ending assault. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, that poor woman. They were specifically trying to get Alariel to fuck her up good. And yeah, no, I mean, if you've seen Kung Fu Panda, there's a part where Po is, like, washing his armpits in the pool of sacred tears. It's basically what Nurgle was doing to the Realm of Life constantly.
He was washing his pits in the pools of sacred tears?
It was pretty bad. Like,
nice.
every single human city in Giran died from plague and disease, from something. Everything began to rot. The realm itself began to basically become a piece of Nurgle's garden. Like, he was basically sucking the whole realm into the warp to add to his own domain. It was pretty bad. So yeah. And that basically went on until the Age of Sigmar, when the Stormcast came and attempted to unfuck things. But it was not good. It was not good at all.
Could you say no bueno?
It was no bueno. Ironically, and this is a complete thing that I think might be happening, I'm not entirely sure, there might be some Nagash fuckery going on with Nurgle, because there was a point where Nurgle was like mixing a plague into a cauldron. He was like, man, my plague broth look a little weird. Let me just give that a taste. And his disgusting fucking plague broth, it tasted of like dust and death and like undeath, and he was like, this is weird. And then the rim of his cauldron, which was basically, it looks like a snake that was eating its own tail, the snake itself came to life and vomited all of his broth onto the floor. Nurgle was like, oh no, basically had a huge panic attack, was trying to scoop his shit back into the cauldron, and he's basically what it came down to, it was a premonition that apparently like Nurgle would lose like all of his followers to death, like undeath or something along those lines. And I was like, that feels like possible Nagash fuckery.
May I bring up a point with that? I'm going to put this chair down, so don't let me
hit your toes.
Hit your toes. Why would you go for strength and decay when you can just die and be reborn again?
Why be decay when you can just kill yourself?
Just saying.
I'm
Nurgle,
just saying.
Just suffer for eternity. Nagash, or just die.
Sigmar in the back having a stroke.
Sigmar, could you two chuckle fucks stop this for 2 minutes, please?
For 5 minutes!
Have you seen the Oziark Bone Reapers?
I haven't.
Okay, those are kind of hot.
They look pretty cool.
They're pretty hot.
Here, post them up on the computer. I've never seen them.
Okay.
I haven't actually looked at the models yet. While you do that, I'm gonna keep going. So yeah. Also, cool thing about Nurgle's like his what would be considered his physical body like swells and grows larger as plagues enwrap the mortal realms. So when pardon me, when there's lots of plagues and disease ravaging the mortal realms, Nurgle swells inside. His gut gets bigger. His leathery skin stretches out, and he becomes enlarged. And when the plagues go away, and when the mortal realms heals itself, and there's not as much disgusting shit happening, he shrinks and he looks more haggard, and he looks more like an old man, and more just small in stature, which is more just cool Nurgle shit.
Here you go, buddy.
Let me see. Give me a second, guys. I'm looking at some pictures. Oh man, that blank screen is hot. They look like fucking Necrons. Kind of.
I mean,
it is pretty cool though.
I'm big boy.
That's pretty cool. Sorry, guys, I was looking at something. But yeah, no. So that's basically Nurgle in a nutshell. I am gonna real quick go over his aspects though. This is gonna be a repeat, just so you'll know, but I'm doing it anyway.
So hey, before I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you go with rot when you can go ride a horse after you die?
Made of bone.
And weird blue magic.
Exactly.
I don't think horse have teeth like that.
And if you want to kill
Oh no, they
people,
do. That's the terrifying thing.
If you want to kill people, you can wear purple armor while you're at it.
Nice. My favorite color, guys. So, some of the aspects of Nurgle, or their names are, you have King of All Flies, which is a primordial god of the cycle of life and death and decay. And then you have Nigelin, Onagal, and the Rusting Patriarch, who are all also a primordial god of the cycle of life and death and decay. Yeah. The only one that slightly differs is Mother Mort. That name makes me chuckle. Mother Mort is like a kindly mother who is worshipped by tribes in Girin in the kingdom of Erosia. And it is, as is common for aspects of Nurgle, is it's a deity of rot and decay. But this one is a goddess instead of a god. And it is basically through Mother Mort's patronage that the Slaves of Darkness, the mortal followers of Chaos, have survived in Erosia because of that.
Where's Erosia?
Girin.
Got it.
Realm of Life.
Got it.
And that's about it. Real quick, one thing I did forget to go over is the demonic forces of Nurgle are called Nurgle's Rotbringers, and the demonic forces of Khorne are called the Blades of Khorne. Something I forgot to go over when I was talking about Khorne. I've more or less gone over the demons. The Great Unclean ones are the greater demons. So those are the big boy demons.
I'm going to go with Tzeentch. They're called Disciples of Tzeentch.
Disciple of Tzeentch.
And then, of course, the Hedonites of Slaanesh.
There you go. And I'm pretty sure...
Have you covered Maggotkin of Nurgle?
I was incorrect with something. The Maggotkin of Nurgle, I believe, are the demonic followers of...
No,
that's
the mortal.
The other mortals?
Yes.
Okay, I get the names mixed up. Okay, so the Maggotkin of Nurgle... That was my next question, is I forget if the specific mortal followers of the gods have specific names.
Yeah,
so
technically they do. Like, the Hedonites of Slaanesh are technically the mortal faction of Slaanesh.
Yeah, and then the demons are just demons of Slaanesh.
Yeah, also,
What? Davins.
Do Slaanesh and Tzeentch not have their own specific demon faction? Because, the demonic faction of Khorne in the game for Age of Sigmar is called the Blades of Khorne, and the ones for Nurgle are called the Nurgle's Rotbringers.
Nope, just demons of Tzeentch.
Yeah. As far as I'm aware, it's just demons of Slaanesh. I could be wrong, though.
Alright. Well, that's a very small thing. So, yeah, that's more or less what I got for Grandpappy Nurgle. There's no nipple rubbing this time. I know you missed that, Mitchell. There we go. Pappy. So yeah, that's Nurgle in a nutshell. And I know I've said this every single fucking episode, but we will go over these topics much more in depth later on once we have gone over other things that need to be talked about. But we'll be coming back to this and we'll be much more in depth.
You know what we haven't covered in a bit?
What?
Grimnir's left nut.
Bye, Grimnir's left nut. Thank you. And with that, I believe we're back to Philip for Ratman.
Ratman! More specifically, Great Horned Rat Man.
Great Horned Rat Man.
Or as the Skaven would say, Great Horned Rat Thing, yes.
Yes!
All right. Going on, though. So, yes, moving straight from Nurgle into the Great Horned Rat, this is actually a pretty good segue. Because the Great Horned Rat is very similar to Nurgle in terms of, like, what he does, but they are distinctly different in their goals. So whereas Nurgle is very much all about the cycle of life and death, the Great Horned Rat cares only for blight and pestilence. He corrupts and he destroys. He is the embodiment of entropy, and he does not give a singular fuck about life continuing on after he has done what he needs to do. So his whole entire shtick is that he's basically trying to corrupt the world so that only Skaven can live there, and then by therefore forcing all of the other gods to kneel before him. So the Skaven worship the Great Horned Rat, and he is the youngest of the Chaos Gods. He was only accepted into the Pantheon of Chaos by the other 4 Chaos Gods at the end of Fantasy, when the world that was destroyed. But since then, the Great Horned Rat has really just been biding his time. He's joined the Great Game, and he's kind of figured out a way to rise to the top, so to speak.
All rats do. Have you looked at Ratatouille? Have you watched it?
Oh boy. All right. Moving on. But yes, so in the Age of Myth was when the Great Horned Rat first made his big foray into the mortal realms. So when the mortal realms were first colonized, so to speak, by the by the Alliance of Order, it was more or less pure. It wasn't until later on that they really started to become corrupted by the Chaos Gods. So the way that the Great Horned Rat was able to introduce his corruption and bring his Skaven out of the realm of chaos into the world, into the 8 mortal realms, was that he started sending nightmares and infestations of vermin into the realm of... I'm now going to forget which realm it was. Giran. So he sent basically nightmares to the population of Giran and gave them infestations of vermin. So whenever they finally did become aware of the Great Horned Rat, basically they started worshipping the rats that he would send to them. And then, whenever the moon turned green, because Warpstone, heyo, the Great Horned Rat was able to basically punch away into the mortal realms, and the Skaven came through, and then slaughtered everyone. But their seat of power is actually a place called the Blight City. The really interesting thing about the Blight City is it is a sub-realm that exists between the realm of chaos and the mortal realms. And Blight City is just this singular, massive city of Skaven. There are so many Skaven that exist both in Blight City and in the mortal realms that the god of rats, Senor Horned Rat himself, cannot track all of his followers. He literally struggles to be aware of all of his followers. So just to give you context, whenever any singular disciple of Tzeentch casts a spell, makes a decision, stabs somebody in the back, Tzeentch is aware of it.
If there's any follower of Khorne...
That's Tzeentch's shtick.
Well, yeah, but that's also everything. But that's also Khorne.
If there's any follower of Khorne that draws blood, Khorne gains power, and he knows of it, because that's how his followers gain power. Because Khorne's like, you kill things real good.
Yeah. Whereas the Great Horned Rat, he struggles to keep track of all of that, because the rats fight themselves. The Skaven fight themselves so much. That's actually part of a pretty big aspect of their worship, is the destruction of other Skaven, and he struggles to keep track of it just because there are literally trillions upon trillions of rats everywhere.
Just sounds like a bad dad to me.
This has always made me kind of chuckle because I see like all the Chaos God at the table talking about like the things they're doing. Korn's like, yeah, I have followers here doing exactly this, and Nurgle's like, yeah, my dudes over here are making plagues, and Slanesh are like, yeah, my guys over here are fucking cows or something over here, and Tzeentch is like, yeah, my dudes are doing spell things, and then the Great Horn Rat pops up in the trash can like, yeah, here be rats, and that's about the extent of his knowledge. Just here be rats, and just points at the map in general.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. But yeah, there's a lot of rats everywhere. His eventual goal, though, is to eventually grow the population of Skaven to the point where he can unleash basically another Vermintide upon the entirety of the 8 mortal realms and wipe out all life that is not vermin. That's his ultimate goal.
Is that kind of like how he wants to like subjugate the other Chaos Gods as well?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, the Chaos Gods can't receive power if the only thing that's there are rats.
And they worship the Great Horn Rat.
Yeah, and the Skaven actively worship the Great Horn Rat, which provides so much more, power to the Great Horned Rat than just the fact that they're drawing blood from, like, Khorne and things like that. There is one big character, though, who the Great Horned Rat actively hates and despises, and he will do anything in his power to stop him. And that is Nagash. So, ironically enough, Nagash and the Great Horned Rat are kind of on very similar playing fields.
They're doing the exact same shit.
Yeah, they really are, though. So, whereas the Great Horned Rat wants to corrupt all of the realms into places of pestilence and blight, Nagash basically wants to destroy completely all of the realms to make them places for places of death. Where only death can reign.
That's what the Necroquakes were.
Exactly. So, and that was kind of the whole big reason that the Skaven actively tried to interfere with the ritual that Nagash was activating. Yeah, which ultimately resulted in the Necroquakes. The funny thing about that is when they were trying to get into Shyish to prevent the ritual, the way that the Skaven travel is through these things called
Novels.
Yeah, I think they're actually called like Gnaw tunnels, it is Gnaw holes. My bad. So they travel through these Gnaw holes, and they're basically small little rips between the subrealm of the Blight City into the mortal realms. But they accidentally opened up a Gnaw hole into the bottom of the ocean of Shyish, and they proceeded to drain the ocean of Shyish into the Blight City. And, they kind of drowned a bunch of themselves in water and zombies. So, yeah, go figure.
Wasn't there, wasn't there a clan of Deepkin also living in that ocean?
Probably, I don't know.
I think there was. I'm pretty... Yes, there was. Because I'm pretty sure there was the whole thing... I remember correctly, the Deepkin were like, oh, fuck, this is happening. We can't hide from Slanesh now. Fuck. And I'm pretty sure they did something very specific to make Nagash be like, oh, fuck, there be rats! I'm pretty sure something along those lines happens, and Nagash found out because the Deepkin were like...
there be rats here.
With the fucking, like the airplane direction stick thing, they're just pointing like, Nagash, rats. Nagash, rats.
But yeah. So yeah, that happened. And then the Necroquakes actually happened, and the Necroquakes proceeded to destroy a pretty significant portion of Blight City. Which means absolutely fuck all, because the Skaven do that themselves.
And there's still trillions and trillions of rats.
Yeah, no, the Skaven, actively destroy their own city, because Blight City is a powerhouse of unrestricted industrialism. It does not matter how many rats have to die in order to make whatever they're trying to accomplish work.
The rats over here. I will kill as many people as I need to, as long as you are one of them.
Yeah, basically. It's very Stalin-esque.
Yeah.
So the other big feature about the Horned Rat is that basically every different clan of Ratmen, or of Skaven rather, they each think that they're all kind of like the apple of the Great Horned Rat's eye. They all think they're the favored ones, And like the Great Horned Rat kind of doesn't give a shit about any of them.
Kind of like, yeah, no, I actually hate all of you.
Yeah, a little bit. But so
I didn't ask to be born. You brought me into existence.
So the Great Horned Rat only has one kind of demon. So whereas all of the other Chaos Gods have like 50 gajillion different kinds of demons, the Great Horned Rat only has he only has one kind of demon, and that is the
Vermin Lords.
Yes, the Vermin Lords.
I literally have them right there.
Yep. But yeah, so they only have one distinct demon, and that is the Vermin Lords. Now, there are like several different kinds of Vermin Lords.
Who is this Lord Screech, the Vermin King?
He would be the king of the Skaven, but that's for a different episode.
Understood.
Gotcha.
He's super demon.
There's 5 known, there's 5 like tabletop kinds of Vermin Lord, but in lore technically there's a bunch of different more. There's a Forge World one.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, there's like the Warbringer, the Warp Seer, the Deceiver, the Corruptor, and I'm gonna forget the one that's on Forge World, but yeah. And each one represents a slightly different aspect of the Great Horned Rat. But yeah, the Great Horned Rat has a bunch of different little aspects to him. So there's the Great Conqueror, the Great Corruptor, the Dark Innovator, the Writhing Bloodsire, the Shadow of Murder, and each one of these, as opposed to all of the other Chaos Gods, actually means something different.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, seriously.
Oh, he's got a night twitch because of that.
Yeah. No, it's pretty serious.
So every demon does something different. They're just all the same.
Yes, they're all technically the same demon because they're all more or less greater demons of the Great Horned Rat. But they all do something slightly different. So the aspects of the Great Horned Rat are the Great Conqueror, which is also known as the King of Lashes, and he's very warlike and very arrogant. There's the Great Corruptor, which is worshipped by Clan Pestilence. Go figure. And he's a virulent horror of sloughing flesh and rotted bone who desires to unleash the 13 great plagues upon the mortal realms. That's kind of the point. Then there's the Writhing Bloodsire. Also called the Flesh Gifter, is worshipped by Clan Molder, again, go figure, as a protean mass of heaving rat flesh that seeks to bury all the realms in endless vermin.
I don't think these people may know who Clan Molder or Clan whatever the one that you said beforehand is.
You know what? That's accurate. We'll get to those in later episodes.
They're different clans of rats.
Yes, but each one does something a little different.
Yes, yes.
Clan Pestilence,
yes.
all about pestilence, go figure. Clan Molder is all about like flesh mutations. To sum it up really briefly. But, where was I? Oh, right, the Dark Innovator. So, he is a monster of infernal machinery, and in his name, the Skaven seek to twist and repurpose the mechanisms of reality itself. And finally, the Shadow of Murder, also called... Oh god, this is all crammed together. Scuttler in the Walls. So this is Scuttler in the Walls, but it's all like one word crammed together. But he... in his name, they seek to assassinate the leaders and champions of other factions to bring anarchy through the collapse of just rule. So, yeah, each one of these different aspects of the Great Horned Rat represents one of not only his aspects, but all aspects of Skaven life. So Skaven, they all seek to corrupt. They all seek to innovate. They all seek to assassinate. But each one of those is a different aspect of the Great Horned Rat. Which is why, to a certain extent, while he might not have like a bunch of different demons, the one demon he does have does a bunch of different things. So yeah, that's Great Horned Rat.
Damn. That is a lot more than what Zinch had.
Just a little bit.
I feel so bad. I had the easiest god, but I screwed it up.
Yeah, you had the easiest god, and you only had one god. You made Jacob and I do all the heavy lifting over here. Come on, man.
Okay, to be fair, typically I do take.
Hey, I normally take as many as I can, if I'm being completely honest.
Oh no, I'm just making him feel bad at this point. Like, I
like
Slaanesh, I like the Great Horned Rat. Like,
Yeah.
No, it's cool. I still love
I'm
you.
the worst.
I still love you. maybe.
Also, I thought this episode was going to be hella quick.
Yeah, no, and then Jacob's sitting over here like, let me talk about corn for the next hour.
You can both suck a dick. I'm sorry that I'm trying to be thorough.
Anyway, but those are the 5 big chaos gods. And I
looked up the rules for Lord Screech. He's spoopy. He has a 5-up FNP against wounds and mortal wounds.
Ooh.
That's going to be turned into a ward.
Yeah, that's technically a ward in 3rd edition.
Yeah.
And he a wizard.
Is ward before or after wounds are allocated?
Post-wound. It's an FNP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's...
No. It's pre-allocation. No, because I remember that because I had to look this up to see... Because you and I got Dominion, and I had to look up how the Praetors would interact with Yndrasta's ward. And, like, the way it ends up... No, it is post-allocation.
Before we get into this, let's go ahead and wrap up the episode, because that should be about it, right? We might do, if this is on do a small episode next, in 2 Wednesdays from now, about, like, the important Chaos characters, like Azeroth, Be'lakor, Archaon, things like that. Maybe, or we might
Archaon the Ever-Chosen!
Archaon of the plot armor. Or we might...
Arcane.
Arcane. Wait.
Kids, that was incorrect. Arcan is someone for Nagash.
Mitchell, if we say it wrong enough, maybe we'll cause a nosebleed. Arcane.
Have you ever been hitting the jaw with a 2-battery vape mod?
Arcane.
But yeah, so I think that wraps it up for this episode of Lorecast Eternals.
Reach out to us on our social medias.
Please, Mitchell's lonely and he needs to make friends.
Yeah, that.
Excuse me? I would have heard a little bit.
It's like, how dare you be that accurate?
How dare thou reveal my darkest secrets to the world?
But yeah, so once again, thanks again, guys, for the 100 streams. We really appreciate it. We will see y'all in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, unless something horrible happens.
Unless seriously fucks up again and
unless
Nurgle
decides to bless us.
Sickness. But yeah. So we will see y'all again in 2 weeks. Hope y'all have a lovely, lovely rest of y'all's day/night. And yeah, peace out.
Adios, amigos.
Would you like to continue with your ward explanation?
Oh, press
pause.
Sure, why
not? No.
Oh my god.
Yeah. By the way, if y'all wanna leave now, you can. It's just gonna be a little more of a ward explanation. But if I remember correctly, wards are post allocation because the way the Praetors are worded a little differently, and the way that they work is like whenever they're triggering their soulbound, whatever, yada yada. Yuha.
Yeah, no, cool. It says specifically when a wound is allocated, you take this roll instead.
Yeah. Well, no. It's not that it takes it instead, because you can stack a ward with the Praetors. Like, that's what makes them so powerful. Is because it's, like, technically the... Yeah, I think the way that it works is you make your armor... with Yndrast, for instance, who has a 4-up armor, you make her armor save, and if you fail the armor save... Then you go to the Praetors. And then the Praetors, if the Praetors roll a 1 or a 2, then you go back to Yndrast, at which point her ward can then save her, because at that point the wounds have been allocated to her through the Praetors. So I think technically a ward is post-allocation.
We'll probably look that up, because that's a lot.
Yeah, but the way that it's worded is very clear. Like, it sounds really funky, but one is very clearly pre-allocation, and one is very clearly post-allocation.
Yep. Okay.
Anyway, goodbye, y'all.
Bye.